A political storm is building in the United Kingdom, the key US ally. And this time it's not about politics, it's about national security, it's about global influence, it's about controversial international connection. And guess who's at the center of this issue? Mr. Keir Starmer, who is now facing growing pressure over his support for Peter Mandelson, basically a senior political figure whose past business links are coming under intense scrutiny. What has triggered this controversy is the revelation that a consulting firm founded by Mandelson, Global Counsel, had major clients with alleged links to China, including companies that have raised national security concerns in the West. Now, one of the most talked about connection is with Wuxi AppTech, a Shanghai-listed biotech firm that reportedly paid millions to Global Counsel for advisory services. Now, this is not just a routine business relationship, because in the United States, lawmakers had already flagged concerns with this company's potential links with China's military ecosystem. A bill that was even introduced in Congress to restrict such companies from securing government contracts on national security grounds. Although that bill was later softened and it did not specifically name any company, the concern behind that, it has continued to raise questions internationally. Well, the controversy did not just end there though. Another key link involves Canyon Bridge Capital Partners, which acquired the British semiconductor company Imagination Technology in 2017 in a deal worth about 550 million euros. Well, at the same time, there were already concerns about Canyon Bridge's ownership structure, with reports suggesting ties with the Chinese state-backed entities. Despite these warnings, the deal was approved in the UK. However, when Canyon Bridge later attempted to acquire the US-based semiconductor, American authorities stepped in and blocked the deal, citing national security risk. Well, this contrast between the UK approval and the US rejection, it has become a key point in the current debate. Now, adding the pressure are the claims from political figures like Lane Dacon Smith, who kind of argues that these risks, they were known and repeatedly raised but not taken very seriously at that time. Critics are now questioning whether the UK government underestimates the strategic implication of such business relationship, specifically in sensitive sectors like technology and biotechnology. They are also asking whether political connection and economic interests may have influenced the decisions that should have been guided purely by security concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, the companies that are involved, they have strongly denied any wrongdoing. Well, Wuxi AppTech has publicly stated that it does not pose a national security threat and has never been sanctioned by the United States or any other government. The company has emphasized that it supports regulatory oversight but opposes what it calls unfounded allegation made without any proper evidence. Similarly, Global Counsel, they have also maintained that its advisory role was limited and that it is not directly representing the Chinese state entities, even while assisting clients in managing stakeholders' concern. In the end, the whole situation is further complicated by the fact that Global Counsel has since shut down, following increased scrutiny and separate controversies linked to Mandelson's past associations. This has only added to the perception that deeper issues may have existed within these networks of influence. And yes, at the very same time, the geopolitical environment has become far more sensitive, with growing tensions between Western nations and China over technology, trade, and security. Now, in this context, past business relationships are now being re-examined through a much sharper lens. In the end, for the UK government, this controversy highlights a broader challenge: how to balance economic engagement with global powers like China while protecting national security and trust. Because in today's interconnected world, business deals are no longer purely commercial. They are deeply tied to geopolitics, strategic competition, and long-term national interest. The unfolding debate raises critical questions about oversight, transparency, and decision-making, and that too at the highest level of the government.